Okay, just 1 second. We just need to find it. Okay, well then you can open your mic.
Yeah. Can you hear me, guys? Now I think it's good. It's back. I can see people still complaining about sound. It's getting much better now. We are gonna start now. Time is just 2 minutes after 10. Welcome. Good morning. You are most welcome to another session of CIPC webinar. I will be your host from now until 11 o'clock. My name is Rozani. I'm not alone, as usual. I've got colleagues from the office who will be talking about name reservation, new company registration. You are most welcome to ask any question to them. They are going to answer your questions. They're going to give you clarity on whatever you've got as a problem, and they are here to assist you from now until 11 o'clock. With me today, I've got Emanuel from Name Reservation. He is the manager in the name reservation section. He is going to talk about name reservation. He is going to tell you what are the processes, what are the steps, what are the problems that you might encounter when doing name reservation. Feel free to ask any question. He's not alone. He's with his colleagues. They are here to attend to your problems as well. You can type in your questions as we're speaking. We will open the lines for you later on. We will open your lines later on so that you can talk to us, so that you can ask your questions. And then again, I would like to apologize to you, viewers. We had a problem this morning. Our system was down, but I believe now it's up and running. For the past 2 hours, it was not okay. But we apologize. And I hope you're gonna find it user-friendly and you're going to use it as well. And then before we continue, I will introduce to you to another exciting product that has been just released. The new product is called USSD. With USSD, this is where you can check or you can transact with the office using your cell phone. For you to transact, you can use any type of a phone, whether it's a smartphone or it's an iPhone or it's an old phone, as long as it's got airtime. To transact, you can transact. It's not very expensive. I think it will charge you around about 20 cents. For you to transact, you need to dial star 120 star 2472. 2472 is CIPC, star 120 star CIPC hash. If you dial that number, it's going to open an option for you to check company registration status, to check annual returns, how much you owe in terms of your annual returns, to request CIPC banking details if you would like to deposit or to do any transaction. You can check your customer balance, how much you have in your customer after doing some transaction. You can also reset your password. You can do your financial year end. And please, as a customer, note that you need a customer code and a tracking number and an enterprise number to access some of these services. If you don't have those, it will not be easy for you to access our services. But we encourage each and every one of you to have a customer code so that you can transact with our office. And then without wasting your time, I can see I've got participants here who are already throwing in questions, and we will attend to your questions. We will come back to you guys. Don't go away, as I've got Emanuel Manyelo from the company section under the name reservation we'll be talking about. And then again, please note all the presentations and the videos will be loaded on our website, on our homepage. Go to our homepage, step-by-step guide. You will have a video for today's presentation. It will be loaded in the next 2-3 days. Probably look for it in the next week, and as well as the presentation will also be loaded under the step guide. You can download the presentation, or you can drop us an email. We can email you back the presentation. And I think before without wasting much of your time, as I've introduced my guest, Emanuel from Name Reservation, who will be talking about application, how to apply for reservation, how much is it, what is needed for you to apply for a name reservation. He will be with you for now. He will be with you in the next 10-15 minutes or so doing presentation on how to do name reservations. Feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to send anything that you want to know from Emanuel. Emanuel, good morning.
Good morning to you too.
Emanuel, without wasting your time, colleagues, I will hand over to my colleague Emanuel, who will be talking about name reservation. Emanuel, over to you.
Thank you, Rizan. And good morning to the guests. I'd like to appreciate the opportunity to interact with members of the public. This is an opportune time, obviously, to get to know how best we get to know the challenges that our customers are experiencing outside there, so that will enable us to know how best we can service them. In contextualizing this presentation, I tried by all means to reflect high level, so that reflect high level, moreover as concise as possible, so that I can afford our guests more time to ask questions, because the most important thing is to get to know the challenges that our members of the public are coming across, and so that we can be able to know how best we can answer those questions and best service them. However, post this session, what we'll do, as my colleague Rosanne already alluded to the fact that the information will be publicized. We'll try by all means that in doing that, we'll cover quite a number of questions that have been raised, and ensure that the presentation address all the concerns, maybe the challenges as well. Without wasting much time, I'll be proceeding and getting into the presentation. We all know that we are coming from an old regime in terms of an old Companies Act, where name reservations was mandatory, or was an initial process in terms of company registration. However, in terms of the new company registration, name reservation is no longer mandatory or an initial process to register a company. A company can still be registered without first undergoing a name reservation. By so saying, or by so doing, it will mean that the company can be registered with or without a name. And in case a company is registered without a name, the registration number is then served as a company name. In addition to the same, you will remember that previously we had quite a number of principles with regard to the company name application considerations, including among others undesirability. However, in terms of the now new Companies Act, we are no longer considering names in terms of desirability, but we consider names in ensuring as much as possible that the name is not completely similar to the name already registered within our database. In addition to the same, the name must not infringe the trademark, neither nor connote or suggest that the name is somehow associated with the government. With name reservation, in terms of our service standard, our service standard is 5 days. However, as an organization, moreover as a team, we are striving and ensuring that we improve our turnaround time, not only turnaround time, but also the quality. In substantially the same, like now, as I indicated that in terms of the service standard, our turnaround time is 5 days. However, as of now, we are on 1 day turnaround time. That's how best you can see that as an organization, we are moving and try to best and efficiently service members of the public, because we know that most of the members of the public are still interested in first reserving the name. So as an organization, we are trying to make it easy to register a company and as fast as efficient as possible. In terms of the new legislation, is now allowing that the name of companies can incorporate symbols. We normally call them special characters. However, the very same principles of incorporation of the special characters, it is still under deferred, meaning that these characters are yet to be accepted or yet to reflect or incorporated in company names due to some other challenges with other institutions, including, among others, financial institutions, because of those characters are used and they connote certain codes. And as such, as an organization, we are still considering those kind of things and the impact thereof. We will definitely revert back to members of the public with regard to that. As of now, I can put on record that special characters are under deferred until further notice. In consideration of names, members of the public have been afforded an opportunity to challenge our committee's decision with regard to consideration of company names, including, among others, if ever you applied for a name and you feel that that name has been rejected, and as such your human right has been compromised, you have got a relief to approach a human rights in order to seek relief. Again, name reservation, a reserved name or a defensive name can equally be transferred to another person or to another company. In case of a defensive name being transferred, what will happen is that because of when you register a defensive name, you will have to furnish us with material proof of interest in that defensive name that has to reflect the activities under which the defensive name will engage or active in. So that will mean that in the event you will want to transfer the defensive name, the person to whom the defensive name will be transferred to has to equally furnish us with that proof of material interest in that particular defensive name. The transfer of a defensive name will only be done via the email, because of we will need supporting documents, including, among others, the certified ID copy of the person transferring that defensive name, as well as the letter I referred and alluded to that will reflect the material interest in that particular defensive name. The email is the one that has been reflected as name reservations and registrations at CIPC .co.za. So as the associated names. The associated name, I'm talking about the names which have association in the database with already registered entities or with trademarks. So if you apply for a company name that is associated to an already existing company name, you will have to equally file it manually, together with a letter that will allude to us and make reference to the fact that the name will be associated to that particular name that is already in our database for easy of reference, so as the certified ID copies of directors from the company that will be issuing that consent letter. In my next slides, I'm reflecting the validity of the reserved names. We will know that in terms of the previous act, the defensive, the reservation was only valid for 2 months. So now, in terms of the new act, the name reservation is valid for 6 months, and that reserved name can equally be extended for 60 working days. In terms of the extension, you can only extend your reserved name once at a time. And we will also take note of the fact that, as I alluded in the beginning, I said that I reflect only the high level. There are some other, I know initially and previously we used to register shortened form of a name, translated translation of a name. So in terms of the now piece of legislation is no longer allowing the those kind of processes, shortened form and translation of names, but only the CCs and company names. However, as an organization, we are expected in terms of the Consumer Protection Act to establish a business name register. As an organization, we are working around it. However, we are still awaiting for a publication by the Minister of Trade and Industry, and then a posted advertisement within 6 months period. We will have to establish a business name register where all business names will be registered and recorded for ease of reference for information disclosure as well, so that whoever you are making business with, is traceable and the information can also be disclosed. Information can be made and the record can be requested and for perusal as and when is needed. I've reflected the forms as well as the fees. So some of the forms that are reflected in the include, among others, the 9.3, COR 9.3, the COR 9.6, the COR 9.7, and 11.1. There are some of the forms, as you know, that we have migrated from the old Act and then to the new Act. There are certain processes that we are still building functionality in order for this particular form to be compatible to our processes and systems. So as of now, the forms like COR 9.1, wherein we are expected to further request information in case where we feel that information presented before us is insufficient to approve that particular name. So that kind of process, we are working around it as an organization. We are busy developing the functionality around it. So as COR 9.6, notice of potentially contested name, wherein case where we will approve a name, but we are of the view that the names that have been identified can possibly pose a contestable, that kind of notice is yet to be compatible. So we are working around the functionality in developing in SOAS 9.7 and 11.2. As alluded initially, I spoke about the defensive name. So the defensive name, we know that in terms of the old Act, we used to have a defensive name. However, the new Act is silent with regard to termination or utilization of a defensive name, either to serve as a company name or either to be transferred. So we as an organization, we took a stand that by virtue of the fact that upon registrations, a defensive name, as and when we have been furnished with material proof of interest in the defensive name, as an organization, we do not see why the owner cannot be allowed to utilize a defensive name to serve as a company name. By so saying, the defensive name is allowed before its expiry period of 2 years to can be utilized to serve as a company name. We know that the Act is silent on that particular point, in particular termination before the period, the 2 years expiry period, neither nor if ever the defensive name can also be utilized to serve as a company name. The answer is simply yes. You can utilize the defensive name prior to its expiry 2-year period to serve as a company name, or either to be transferred. And then that actually brings me to the end of my presentation. And thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I hope you thank you very much again, Madam Governor, presentation on Reservation. And please, a lot of questions. Okay, thank you very much, Emanuel.
now we presentation on reservation. Time now 25:10. We also many questions that are coming through. Each number of them. I think if you try to answer some of these questions, while it's very parallel, you have how long to the relationship. I don't think that is your enough. Um, okay, thank you, Rosanne. I'll take John's question. John must take in consideration the fact that the change of name includes two processes. The first process will be first reserving the name, and after the name has been approved, then you proceed to effect the change of name. Our normal turnaround time, as I said, is 5 working days. However, as of now, we are on 1 day turnaround time. If you were to apply now, I can guarantee and put on record that you'll get it today. And then thereafter, you will have to fill in the 15.2, and then supported by the proof of that approved name, 9.0 or 9.4, as well as the resolution, consenting and confirming that it has been resolved and agreed that the company effect the change of name, so as the certified ID copy of the signatories, and that will be filed. And then it will depend on the turnaround time of the change of name. Unfortunately, at this moment where I'm sitting now, I'm not on position of the turnaround time of a change of name. Okay. Thank you, Emanuel, for that. Thank you, Emanuel, for that. I see you've got so many different modern problems we can take from the members of the people are members of the turnaround time. There's another question about job editing. You wanted to know what happens if you're doing that. Obviously, with regard to the name that lapsed while application has been filed with and received by our office, obviously it will be upon our office to ensure that we process the documentation. If ever it can be proved that the document was received while the name is still active, on that one I can commit that the document will definitely be processed. However, I would like the other reason why we made the name reservation to be valid for 6 months was to try to alleviate those kind of challenges, wherein we afforded our members of the public an enough period of 6 months so that they can have enough time to consult, to sign the document and file them. However, my answer still is that if it can be proved that the application was filed on time prior to the expiry of the name, that document will definitely be processed. And in addition to the same, I've received a question again with regard to the shortened form of a name. But the companies that actually had that shortened form of a name will continue to have those shortened form of a name. However, the same for the new ones cannot be registered at all because we do not have that particular process anymore. I think I've answered that question. Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. And then I've got more questions coming through. I've got Karen, who is very happy about our services. And then I've got Vedat Felix, who wanted to know what is the defensive name. I've got Dayton as well, who's happy about our services. And then I've got Wendy, who wanted to register a company with a defensive name. And what are the processes? And I've got Cecilia, who also asked how long does it take for one to for reply for a contested name and what is the process? Thank you, Rosanne. However, you have raised a list of questions. I'll try my best to answer those ones that I've managed to grab. to my best ability. Firstly, let me start by a defense. There was a question about what is a defensive name. A defensive name is more or less similar to a trademark, wherein you register a defensive name with regard to with intention of trading. Maybe you have got a concept, you have got a product, you want to test the market, if ever that product, to see how that product can unfold in the business world. So you are not certain if ever you want to straight go direct to register a company. So you opt to do a defensive name in order for you to carry on business. Knowing and bearing in mind that defensive name is valid for 2 years. And by so doing, you'll be assessing if ever your concept, if ever your product is viable. And if your product is viable, you can register a defensive name that is valid for 2 years and carry on business. And then post 2 years, if ever you still want to continue with the carry on business with the defensive name, you can equally carry on, you can renew it for another 2 years and carry on business. The other question was that one asked as to whether you use a defensive name to effect a company name change. Maybe you had a company and you had a defensive name. So you wanted to use the defensive name. Maybe you are well known in the market on that particular defensive name. So you have built reputation and goodwill upon that defensive name. So you can take that defensive name and effect a company name change, wherein the defensive name will serve as a company name. And the other question that that has been posed and asked is with regard to the special characters. The special characters, as I have indicated in my presentations, in terms of the New Companies Act, the special characters were supposed to be allowed to be incorporated within company names post 3 years upon the implementation of the New Companies Act. However, due to the impact of those characters, not only CIPC, but other institutions, financial institutions, the characters have a massive impact in the business world. So as an organization, we are engaging with affected parties, and then as of now, we have made those special characters, we have deferred the special characters, meaning that they are yet not allowed to be incorporated within company names. As soon as we have a stand and a position and as an organization around the special characters, we will definitely communicate to the members of the public. The other question with regard to contested or confusely similar names. I would like members of the public to take in cognizance the fact that previously those particular challenges, those particular processes were within CIPC. However, in terms of the New Companies Act, that function is now residing with Companies Tribunal. If ever a name has been approved and registered, wherein you feel that name, it infringes your trademark or it infringes your company name, you have got a right for relief with Companies Tribunal, wherein you can file your objection with Companies Tribunal, and then you'll definitely get if ever you can prove to them and persuade the commissioner of Companies Tribunal that indeed there's a likelihood of confusion in the business world, then the relief you'll be seeking, it will definitely be done. And then with regard to, I will go back to the defensive name because it seems as if is prominent question around this. There is a link that I've publicized on my presentation wherein I reflected around the defensive name. Please log into that link wherein you will find a note wherein we have articulated and reflected the fact that a defensive name can also be used to register a company name prior to its expiry 2-year period. or defensive name can be used to effect a company name change. So there is a link that I've now reflected on my presentation. Please log on that link. It's a guide around the defensive name. But yes, you are allowed to utilize a defensive name to serve as a company name. I thank you. I'm not sure if ever there are still questions.
Yes, I've got questions coming thick and fast, but I'm afraid we're not going to take all of them currently, as we don't have much time now. But I would like to thank you, Emmanuel and the team, Muleboheng and Catherine, who have been answering, who have been giving answers to most of your questions. And then again, I just have just picked one question here. Wendy Dobson, who's complaining that defensive name was recently rejected when registering a company. Maybe, Wendy, what you can do, you can send us your email. We will check that. We'll come back to you. But I can also give Emmanuel a few minutes to answer you as well. And then I've got Eunice on the line as well, who was asking us if trading names are allowed to be used. Again.
Okay. First, we start first by answering the one around defensive name. It is unfortunately at this moment where I am now, I won't be able to see what informed the rejection of that particular defensive name. However, my advice will be kindly log on our website, query resolution, and then furnish us with that rejection. Let me look into it as to what informed the rejection, and then I'll be that by virtue of seeing the reasons why that defensive was rejected, I'll be on a better position to can advise and respond on that rejection. The other question, it was talking about the trading as name. Within one of my slides, I've reflected the fact that as an organization, CIPC, we are expected to establish a data for trading as names or business names. So we are working around it. We are in the process developing that particular process. However, the position now is that as an organization, we are waiting for the publication by the Minister of Trade and Industry in the Government Gazette. So once the minister had advertised in the Government Gazette, within 6 months period post the advertisement, we will then develop and establish a data or a register for business names for perusal, for information record, obviously, and for information disclosure. As we know that in terms of the Consumer Protection Act, obviously we have to protect the interest of customers by making sure that we get the record of people that do business with.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Time is not on our side. We've got about 26 minutes to wrap up, and then we still have another long presentation by Glory Moumakwe from the companies, new companies. I had quite a number of questions, but I think we will have to answer them after the show. There's this burning question here: spelling mistakes on the names. People are asking how or what needs to be done, or how can they rectify that if they've made a mistake during the name of the. But we're not going to answer that one now. We will answer that after the show. We will come back to you. We will email you. We will send you emails. Just drop us emails. Contact us on our inquiry system or our call center. If you can't drop an email, then you will have to wait for the next session, which will be conducted again of the webinar. And then with me now, I've got another team from the companies section. We are going to talk about new company registration with Glory Moumakwe. You will remember the new act was introduced to replace the old act that would allow you to register a CC and stuff like that, but now CC has been discontinued. We've got new products and services that it can be incorporated. We've got new PTYs. We've got NPC. We've got state-owned companies. We've got personal liabilities companies. Okay, I've spoken about NPCs, but since time is not on our side, Glory, you will have to take over, continue, and then do the presentation. We can take questions. We'll give you a couple of minutes to call in to talk to our speakers, to ask them or to engage them on your problems. And Glory, morning. You're welcome. You can take over, and over to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The presentation today will be covering various types of companies that are registered under the Companies Act. Registration of new companies can be subdivided into the following types of company: private company, public company, personal liability company, state-owned company, non-profit companies, external companies, conversion from closed corporation to a company, the amalgamation or merger of companies. The last one is an application transfer registration of foreign company. The following are channels of filing new company registration. Currently, short standard private company can be registered online, also via banks and also SSTs. And the following companies: public, state-owned, personal liability, non-profit companies, conversion, the mergers and transfers can only be registered manually. The process to register an e-services, that is the COR 14.15.1A, is as follows. There's a client's capture data on the website, and after submitting, they will receive a form to be signed by directors. Once that form is completed, they have to submit it to eservices@cipc.co.za. And once we receive the forms, the company will be registered, the certificate will be dispatched through the client. The process is 3 working days. However, currently we are on 1-day turnaround time. There is a step-by-step guide on the website on how to successfully register an online company. The link is provided on the slide. For you to successfully submit e-services registration, ensure that documents submitted is in a PDF or TIFF format, because our system currently cannot take zip files, emails, Word, Excel, or JPEG format. Also ensure that the tracking number must be indicated in the subject field of the email. We prefer that enough funds must be available on the customer code so that we avoid further delays. What to submit on e-services registration? You submit the signed form that was forwarded to you by CIPC, and if the name reservation is applicable, also attach it. Also attach certified ID, copies of directors and incorporator. If there is a foreign national on that company, please submit a certified passport copy. When you are struggling with allocation of funds or website error, there are links that you can go through on our website. It is provided on the slides. For you to successfully submit e-services registration, we encouraging that staff client must use e-services for short standard private company. Seeing that the turnaround time is 3 days and manual is 25 working days. Please, we plead that customers must do that to avoid delays. Do not submit application more than once. If you have any queries, please log on to our website. And also note that once the document is rejected, you cannot reuse it again. You have to go to the website and capture information and submit new document. Also ensure that you submit documents prior to name reservation lapsing to avoid further delays. The next slide is covering the process flow for manual registration. The turnaround time is 25 working days. Once you completed the document, you may email it to the company docs at CIPC CIPC.co.za. And once we receive the documents, CIPC will process documents. If everything is in order, the certificate will be dispatched to you. And in order for you to ensure that everything is in order, like for e-services, for manual, please ensure that documents are in PDF, documents are legible, the customer code is indicated on 14.1, and also sufficient funds is available for processing. Please do not attach zip files, another email, Word, or JPEG format. For manual registration, what to submit, it depends on the type of company and what option you are selected. Please follow the useful tools on our website that will guide you. And the tips as well on how to successfully submit a manual document. Do not submit a manual and e-services for the same registration together. Do not submit the same application more than once. If you have any risk, please log or call on inquiries on the website. Also ensure that documents are legible. For manual registration, if application is rejected, the entire document must be resubmitted. You cannot just email an outstanding document. For example, if we queried you for a certified ID copy, you cannot just submit the ID copy. You need to submit everything. And as well as the previous presenter alluded to the name reservation, please ensure that you submit prior to the name lapsing to avoid such delay. And this is bringing me to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Glory, for the presentation. I see there's a lot of questions that are coming through. People are crying, people are angry with the office. There are so many questions. And I see there's a question about how to print MOI. Number of people wanted to know the steps as to where and how they can print MOIs if you're not a director of that company. You can quickly answer that before we go to the next question.
Okay. Currently, everyone can print an MOI on our website as long as you have registered with us and have a customer code. You go to disclosure and under services, you can go and punch. You get a lot of registration number, the one that you're looking for. You can access the MOI from there. But also ensure that the tracking number for that particular application is available.
Like she said, you need a customer code to do that. As long as you've got a customer code with your registration number and the tracking number, go under certificate and disclosure, print and click on MOI. Then it will give you an option to print such documents. The documents will be sent directly to your email or to the email that has been used when registering as a customer. And then I've got John Mamawulo who wanted to find out, can he convert a PTY to NPC? And then I've got Yolanda who's been complaining again. She submitted documents in May, in June, July, still outstanding, no response from the office. And then again, I've got Zorita, who registered a personal liability company, still no respond. And the last question that I picked up was from Jenandri Stoltz. I think he's a foreigner. He wanted to know why foreigners cannot register a company, or what are the processes, or what is required.
The first answer is conversion from a PTY to a conversion to an NPC. You can do that by completing the core 15.1, 15.2 and supporting documents. And once you completed all documents, you may submit them to MOI amendments at CIPC.co.za. And the issue around the question around the documents that are submitted and there is no answer yet. please log in and inquire on our website. Then we will have to look at that. Investigate what was the delay.
Okay, before we go to the next questions, again, callers, please, you are allowed to call us, and then if you would like to speak to one of our officials, you can call in. We've got Emmanuel, we've got Glory, and other officials from their respective units who will take your calls. We can talk to you. We can give you answers to whatever questions you've got. You were still talking about the outstanding documents from Yolanda. I think you did not answer the Zorita question. Registered a personal liability, and then now she hasn't received any response or any correspondence from the office. Then the last one that I picked was from Gentry Stoltz. Why a foreigner cannot register a company, or is foreigners allowed to register a company?
Foreigners are allowed to register a company. The documents that you need to submit is the type of company that you want to register, and also ensure that you attach a certified copy of passport manually.
If you want to talk to us, let us on the chat. Let us know on the chat that you want to talk to us so that we can open your mic. Because if you don't do that, we're not going to pick it up that you want to call through or you want to talk to us. And then I can see there are people who are also happy about the office. There are people who can access our website. There is a number of them who can print MOIs, who are happy about the turnaround time in terms of company registration, in terms of name reservation, who were assisted very professionally, and then I think they're happy, which is good for the office. And then you are welcome to call us. You are welcome to talk to Gloria. You're welcome to talk to Emmanuel. And then please notify me on the chat on the side that you want to talk to me. You want to call through. Then we can open your mic. If you don't do that, we will not pick up. I see here people are complaining about the contact center. We're gonna come to that as well. And then people are happy. I've got Sham Shatan Tau. I'm happy at the service. I've got Karen Peter, CIPC are trying to do away with the telephone call center. The website has everything you need. Florence Bukiter. I've got Diana Victor on the line. Diane, can you accept my call? Diane. Hi, Diane, can you hear me? Diane, we're struggling to get through to Diane.
Can you hear me?
Okay, Diane is online. Hi, Diane.
Hi, good day. If you go underneath certificate of disclosure and you receive back the 15.2, I'm trying to get hold of the MR, the 14.3. But if I use the INS number and the tracking reference number that they've sent to me, it starts with the N. So if you go underneath the certificates and disclosures, the number starts with a K there. If you enter the enterprise number and the tracking number and you say generate certificates, it indicates that the enterprise and the tracking number supplies don't match.
Okay, Dione, with regards to that, you can send an email to disclosure@cipc.co.za. They will respond to your request.
Okay, because I've tried also to send the email to disclosures and they said the email is incorrect. It's received it back. Is there a problem with that email address at the moment?
According to my knowledge, the email is working, but I will follow up with the method of the disclosure department.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another caller, thank you, Dion, for that. I see people as I've got Professor who's very happy about the services that CIPC is offering. I've got Palisa who says thank you very much for simplifying the registration process. Keep up the good work, Glory and the team. If you want to talk to Glory or you want to talk to Emmanuel about name reservation, then you can simply let us know that you want to talk. You can simply let us know that you want to call through. We'll take your call and then we will give you answers as much as we can. If we can't give you an answer now, we will take your details. We will come back to you with an answer or we'll try to resolve your problem. And then I see we only left with about 10 minutes to conclude the show. And then if there's anyone who wants to ask to open their mic, we can do that. We've got 10 minutes to do that. Or you can send us through your email, or you can download whatever we're talking about now on our website. Okay. Any caller on the line? I don't have anyone on the line now. I will, while waiting for the calls, I think I will ask my team to come back, Emmanuel or Marvin or Glory, if they've got anything to add. They can add something that they think we did not touch on today. Emmanuel, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I see a question from current who said that why we are no longer residents. Take responsibility of the fact that the old act has been repealed and in terms of the new act, the CCC has been discontinued. That's why we are no longer residents. However, the old ones we are keeping on maintaining them. However, there are companies that can private companies that work in business. So in terms of the new companies act, CC has been discontinued. So CCs are no longer registrable, but only companies. And then the CC also can be amended. That's why I'm saying that we keep on maintaining them, so we can amend and keep that CC. Thank you. Thank you
for that explanation. I think that will help a lot of people who has been asking why can't they register CCs. As you've heard, Emmanuel, that according to the new act, no more CCs. And then I think Emmanuel's got something to say again. Emmanuel, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Luzana. I also can see that there is a complaint about our call center. I would like to put on record that we as an organization, we are working around it. We are ensuring that we are doing our best to ensure that we address the calls. We are working around call center. We are capacitating call center, and then we are improving our turnaround times. We are addressing questions that to our best ability, including among other things, this kind of forums, so that we can know your challenges, so that we can know how best we can deal with it. So we are doing our best. Slowly, we are getting there. We know that there are quite a number of challenges, and then one of the processes that we have employed is this kind of is webinar wherein we can engage directly with you to get to know the challenges you are coming across and trying to deal with your challenges. So as an organization, we've taken in cognizance all your challenges, all your frustrations, and we are working around it as an organization. And you can see some improvements. You can see the turnaround times have been improved. We have improved the core 39s, worked around it, and I can see the credit around it. As an organization, we are striving to get there. That's why we are not even shying away to come and interact with you directly, like this kind of a forum. We are working around it and we're improving. Call center will be capacitated and all your calls will be addressed.
For that, and we've got about 5 minutes to wrap up. And again, we'll be reminding you, if you want to talk to any one of us, if you want to call through, please open your mic or let us know so that we can open your mic. We can take your call, we can talk to you. That is if you need, really, if you've got something urgent that needs to be addressed now, we can talk to you. Now I see people are happy about the sound, people are okay, people are getting sound clearly now, and people again, well, the touching on what Emmanuel was talking about, the call center issue, which is what we are working on. It will be resolved, and we're working very hard on that. That is why we also have webinars to address some of these problems with you. And we only have 4 minutes left now. I don't know if my colleagues would like to wrap up, and then we meet in the next session again. Glory, do you have something to say? Emmanuel, do you have anything to say to wrap up the show, or any of your colleague or anyone around the table who want to add something?
Thank you, Van. I would like to appreciate our guests who successfully who constructively criticize our office. We acknowledge that, and we commit that we will definitely work around all the challenges and with interest and idea of easy of doing business. And then on our presentation, we'll try to make sure that as and when we presented on our website, we'll make sure that we address some of the questions that we were not able to address to control. Thank you, Rosanna. Thank you, again.
Okay, thank you, Emmanuel. In closing, I see there's a number of questions that are coming about B-BBEE certificates. We do BBEE certificates through our self-service terminals. You cannot get that online if you're doing it from your desk or if you're doing it from your home, but you need to visit one of our service terminals, which we've got a service terminal in Sunny Park, we've got a service terminal in Carlton Center and Cape Town. If you visit one of those, you can, when you do a new registration, you can get a BBEE, or if you renew your annual returns, you can get a BBEE. But without that, or without doing that services, you cannot get a BBEE from us, or you need to go somewhere else, but not to the DTI or other accredited agencies by SAMAS. That's where you can get your BBEE certificate. And then again, please remember, when you do your BBEE certificate with our self-service terminal, it's free of charge. We don't charge you anything, and you don't have to pay anyone. You don't have to pay anyone, or you don't have to deposit money, as long as you're doing a service within CIPC on the self-service terminal. And then again, on closing, please note, presentations will be loaded on our website. Videos will also be loaded on our website for those who are struggling with the sound, or for those who missed the session. They can download the presentation. They can download the videos for the whole session, and then again, feel free to call us, feel free to email us, feel free to contact us using any methods that is available from the CIPC website to contact us. We will try by all means to address your problems. We will try by all means to come back to you. And without wasting much time, without wasting much of your time, I would like to thank everybody who participated in the session. Everybody, your inputs, we value inputs. It was very nice to hear from you. This helps the organization to improve, where we're going wrong, how we can help, or what can we do in order to assist you when coming to company registration, when coming to interacting with the office. And yeah, I guess we had a very fruitful conversation. Till next month, we will publish it on the website when and what time is the webinar. Thank you very much.